Okay, first step is to create an hello world. What we're going to do is we're going to do it as quickly as possible without getting into too much details, because during the course I'm going to teach you slowly and then you'll get all the jits. But I just want to get you up and running as quickly as possible. So what we're going to be doing in this section is we're going to create just a simple code that's going to display two rectangle and a text element. I'm going to be using JSX, which you already know, and I'm going to be using D3, so you can see the difference and how you can work with both of them. So in terms of setting up our environment, we got two main options. We can either use Create React App, which is a single page application, and there's other templates that can help us do that, or we can use a server-side rendering, SSR, which basically do the heavy lifting on the server side. So it's either doing it on the client side with a template like Create React App, or doing it on the server side, which is SSR. In this course, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to show you most of the code we're going to be using Create React App, but later in the course, when I'm going to show you how to publish your work, I'm also going to show you example how to use SSR. So you're going to see it's really easy, because once you build everything as component in React, you can actually port those components to any environment you want. But I have for you a ready-made template that's going to make our life easy, because we have everything built into it. Now, this course is intended for people that already have experience with React, so you probably already have Node. Just make sure you have Node. If you do Node -v, it's going to give you the version number of Node. We're also going to be, now wait, if you don't have Node installed, what you need to do is you just need to go to nodejs.org/your language, and then it's going to allow you to install it either in for Mac or PC. In terms of the package manager that we're going to be using to import libraries, we're going to be using npm and the npx executor, and we're going to be using yarn. Now you can use either npm or yarn. I prefer yarn because it just lets you download few libraries at once instead of doing one by one. So again, just make sure you got npm, do npm -v in case you don't have, and the same with yarn -v. If you're on a Mac like I am and you need to install yarn, just do brew install yarn if you're using brew. And if you're on a PC, what you can do is you can just download the MSI, the latest, from yarnpackage.com. So hold on, I'm going to do open to open that URL, and here it is. It's going to say start downloading the package for me here at the bottom. So we got all the libraries that we need. Now the next step is we're going to set our starter project. So as I told you before, the starter project, I'm going to use a Create React App template that I created, that it's already including React version 17, it's including TypeScript, it's including a preprocessor of Sass, it's including state management, CSS framework, router, unit testing, E2E testing. It has a folder structure, it has the generate templates, it allows you to do a format, it has all kind of stuff in it, so we can be up and running quickly. If you want to learn more about how I set that project, I have another course here in Udemy, so I'm going to leave a link with this course. And if you really want to learn more of how it got built and all the elements that create it, you can go through that course. I'm just going to go quickly and create our project. So if you look at the GitHub, what it's the way we do it, again, we can do it either with yarn or npx. With yarn, you just do create the project name. I'm going to create a temporary folder. So I'm going to do change directory to that temporary folder. And here is the URL. It's yarn create React app, and then our project name, and the template we're using, which is must-have libraries. So for the project name, you can use whatever you want, but if you just want to follow my tutorial exactly, I'll be using, let's see what I used. Here it is. I'm going to be using React D3 Hello World. So once you hit enter, it's going to take a few minutes, depends on your internet connection. It's going to set up the library, it's going to set up the project. I'm going to cancel that because I already done this part. and I'm gonna remove -rf a temp library because I have it set up already. So if you see here on the desktop, I already gone through the process and set up my project with that command line. Now the next step is I'm gonna use my IDE. I'm using WebStorm, but feel free to use Sublime Text or anything else you would like. It doesn't really matter. You can pick your favorite IDE. And if you open it up, open up app.tsx, you can see it's already set up with TypeScript. And we have the vanilla entry point that has a header. Now the next step is we're gonna run that project. So to run the project, just type in terminal yarn start. And if you open up packages.json file, you could see that I already have run script those are coming from create React app, but I added a few more. So you can see we have a run script that will start the server, and you can see the development server, it's running, and it's going to be running on port 3000 by default, but you can change that. Once I click on that, we got the welcome page, the entry point. So we're all set.